Hey Techies, welcome back to another video. Today we are going to learn about operators in Java. In Java, an operator is a symbol that tells the computer to perform a specific action on one or more values known as operands. Operands is nothing but the values or the data that is stored in a variables. And operators helps us to do things like mathematical calculations, comparing values, combine logic and more. In short, they are verbs of programming. For example, if I take a variable and if I do addition, we will use plus operator for that. So there are 7 types of operators are there. So we will see operators. For example, if I do 100 plus 100, this is an operand. This is an operand. This is called operator. This operator will perform some operation with two operands. So this is a basic operator. There are types of operators are there. First, arithmetic operators. Then assignment operators. Relational operators. Logical operators. Bitwise operators. Increment or decrement operator. Then we will see the precedence. The precedence is nothing but the priority of the operators which will perform based on the priority level. So then these operators will be classified into 3 types. Unary operator, binary operator and ternary operator. In this unary operator, we will use one operand. In this binary, we will use two operands. In this ternary, we will use three operands. For example, if I use a plus plus, it is an unary operator. We are using a single value or a single variable. In this binary, I am using a plus b or a minus b, like that. In this ternary, we will use question mark, then colon, then semicolon. In this, we will use some condition and a value and another value. So here it have 3 operands. So it is a ternary operator, it is binary operator, it is unary operator. If you have any doubts regarding ternary, we will see on the if else statements because it will related to that. So first we will see arithmetic operators. There are few arithmetic operators are there. Those are addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and a modulus operator. So these are only additional, these are the arithmetic operators. The plus operator will do addition, the minus operator will do subtraction, the star operator will do multiplication, and this forward slash will do division, and this modulo will give the remainder. We will see one by one. First, addition. As we know, if you use a is equals 10 plus 20, a will store 30. It is a simple calculation for addition. For the same, if you use a equal 10 minus 5, a will store 5. For multiplications, if you use 10 into 5, you will get 50. Then if you use 10 by 2, you will get 5. And for a equals 10 modulus 2, you will get 0. I will explain this how. For division, what we will do is, what are the requirements we will have is remainder, divisor, quotient. In the same way, we will divide with 10 and 2. If you do 10 divided by 2, this is a divisor, this is dividend, and the quotient will be 5. 5 times of 2 is 10, then the remainder is 0. If you use forward slash operator, you will get 5, the quotient. If you use modulus operator, you will get 0 as the remainder. By using this modulus operator, we will do more calculations. This is one of the powerful and mostly used operator. We will see when we do programs about that. It is very easy to code with that, and it will help us to do complex problems. So we will do coding on the arithmetic operators in the Visual Studio Code. So for that I will create a file named as arithmetic.java. Now I have created the class. The class name is public class arithmetic. Then curly braces. Then public static void main. First I will import scanner. Import java.scanner. util dot star. What this star will do is, instead of writing multiple importing, if you use star instead of the scanner, all the packages or all the classes within the util package will be imported. Then I am creating a scanner class object. Scanner s1 equals new scanner, then system dot in. We will get input from the user. I am creating a variable a and I am getting as integer, so next int. I am getting value of another variable, some dot next int. After getting the two values, I'll perform some options. So first we will do plus operator. Before that, I'm adding some string. Addition. Then subtraction. So we are using string, so I am using parenthesis to call this. Addition, subtraction, multiplication for star. After that, division. So for division we have to use forward slash. After division I am using modulus operator. So I am naming it as modulo. So let's see, we will give some input, two numbers, and we will do all these operations: addition, subtraction, multiplication, division and modulus. I'll give 10 and 5. Okay, see here in the addition it says 105. I'll tell you why it's showing like that, but before that we have to use parenthesis within that. So I am running it again. Now I am giving 10 and 5. See, addition equals 15. 10 plus 5. Then subtraction, 10 minus 5 is equals 5. Then multiplication, 10 in 5 is equals 50. Then division, 10 by 5 it's 2. Then the remainder will be 0. So we will see that I have taken two inputs, 10 and 5. So if I add, I will get 15. If I subtract, I'll get 5. Then if I multiply, I'll get 50. Then if I divide, I will get 2. Then if I use modulo, I'll get 0. Because 10 is dividend, 5 is divisor, then 5 2s are 10, then 5 times 2 is 10. After that, the remainder will be 0. So using this modulus operator, we will perform specific tasks. So before that, we will see other operators. So in that, the next one is assignment operators. Assignment operators are nothing but equals. It is used to assign a value within a variable. For example, in a equals 10. Now this equals will store this value of 10 into a. You may think there will be only one assignment operator, but no. There is 5 to 6 more of them are there. Those are plus equals, minus equals, star equals, forward slash equals, and modulo equals, and a normal equals. First we will see this normal equal. It is just assign the value with the variable. For this, first I have to, before using these things, I have to assign some value into the variable. I'll take int a equals 5. Now if I do a plus equals 10, the a value will become 15, because this plus equals will be a equals a plus 10. The current value of a is 5. Then the a will be 5 plus 10, 15. This plus equals will add the current value to the stored value within the a. So for the minus equals, let's take the same example, a equals 5. Then if I use a minus equals 5, then a will become 0, because a equals a minus 5. A equals 5 minus 5. Then a will become 0. So see here, this minus equals can be expressed as, for example, a minus equals 5. It can be expressed into a equals a minus 5. This is the expression. It will update the value. After that, it will store the value. So we will move on to those star equals. Same for the star equals. If I use, first I will initialize a equals 5, then a star equals 5, then the a will become, let me put the comment section, I'll be wait there, pause the video and try to solve it on your own. So after that, a equals a star 5, then 5 star 5, the current value of a will become 25. So if I use a equals 10, a star equals 2, now a equals 20. If I initialize the value of a with 10, then I do this operation. The current value of a will first divided with by 2. Then the value will be assigned to the a as 5. So a will become 5. Same goes for a modulus. A equals 10. A modulus equals 2. then the A value will become 0. So using this modular operator, we can know if number can be divided by another number or not. Because if a number can be divided and it will return 0 as a remainder, then it means this number is divided by this number. So using this modulus operator, we can guess it is a even number or an odd number. For example, if I take 2 and divide it with 2, I will get the remainder as 0. And 1 times of 2 is 2. So the quotient will be 1. The remainder will be 0. See here, I'll draw the number 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. In this number line, these can be considered as even numbers and these can be considered as odd numbers. So see here, this every even number can be divided by 2. See, for example, if I take 2, 1 times of 2 is 2. Then if I take 4, 2 times of 2 is 4. Then if I take 6, 3 times of 2 is 6. So we can assume that every even number can be divided by. So what I have to check is if a number is number modulo 2 returns the value of 0, it is a even number. If a number divided by 2 returns 1, it is a odd number. You may ask me, why this one? Because, for example, if I take 3 and divide it with 2, then what will I get? The remainder is 1. If I take 5, then divide it with 2, then I will get the remainder as 1 again. So, you can get only two possibilities. One is 0, another is 1. If you get 0, it is a even number. If you get 1, it is a odd number. So, while using this modulus operator, we can check a number is even or not. So, we will move on to the next topic. We will see what is relational operators. What is a relational operator? A relational operator is used to compare two values and return a Boolean result. Either it can be true or false. For example, it is used to check two numbers. One is double equals. As I have said before, the double equals is used to check two numbers. For example, I am storing a value of a equals 10. Then I am check if a equals 10. If it is true, it will return the value of output as true. If it is false, for example, if I take 12 in here, it will return the output as false. Okay, so that's why we are using equals. Then we will see not equals. Not is an exclamatory symbol and equals. So this is a not equals. If, for example, I will again declare a equals 10. If a is not equals 20, it have to return 2. If a is not equals 20, for example, if a is 20, then 20 is not equals 20. It is false. If I take a equals 10, 10 not equals 20, it is true. So these two operators are used to check for equals and not equals. Then we will see other operators as well. Greater than operator, less than operator, greater than or equals operator, less than or equals operator. Greater than, less than, greater or equals, less than or equals. Okay, see here. For example, I'm taking a equals 10, b equals 12, or else I'll take b equals 10 as well. If I check a greater than b, a less than b, a greater than or equals b, a less than or equals b. See, 10 greater than 10. Of course, it's false. 10 less than 10. It is also false. 10 greater than or equals 10. In this, it can be greater than or it can be equals. So 10 equals 10 is true. So it returns true. 10 less than or equals 10. As I said before, it will check less than or else it can be equal. So 10 equals 10 is true. So it will return true. So we'll do on the Visual Studio Code. So for that, I'll create another file. I'm creating another class. Then public static void main. So I declare two variables. Int a equals 10. Int b equals. Instead of that, I'm importing the scanner class. Import java.util.scanner. Enter the value of a. Then s1 dot next int. Then sysout. Enter the value of b. Then another variable b equals s1 dot next int. In this I have declared two variable. Then we will check the outputs of A and B. First, we will check equals equals. Term dot out dot println A equals B. So I am running it. I am entering the value as 10. BS also 10. See here, it is returning true. So again I am running it. The value of A is 10. Value of B is 12. See, now it is returning false. So 10 is not equals false. After that we will check A is not equals B. Now I am running it. I am giving value of A as 10, B as 10. See, now it will return false because I am checking A not equals 10. That means I am asking it, is 10 is not equals 10? No. So it will return false. So I am again running it. I am asking if 10 and 20 are not equals. Yes, the both are different numbers. So it have to return true. So now we will check A is greater than or not. So again I am getting input from the user. I am giving A as 10 and B as 2. So I am asking, is 10 is greater than 2? Of course it is. So it have to return true. So again if I run it, then the value of A is 20, value of B is 10. See here, again 20 is greater than 10. So we will check less than. Then I am giving 20, then 50. Now I am asking, is 20 is less than 50? Yes, so it have to return true. Then I am again running it. Then I am asking, is 20 is less than 2? No. So it is returning false. So we will check less than or equals. See here, one more thing is there. I am giving both values 10. Is 10 is less than or equals 10? Yes. 10 is not less than 10, but it is equals to 10. So it will return true. If I check, see, I am checking, is 10 is less than 10? No, both are equals, right? So it will return false. Same goes for the greater than symbol. Is 10 is greater than 10? No. So it will return false. So we will move on to the next topic. The next topic is logical operators. So what is a logical operators? The logical operators can combine Boolean conditions. So the main logical operators in Java are the operator meaning and the logical and. The main logical operators in Java are the logical and, that is double ampersand. Okay. Then logical or, double straight lines. After that, not. And or not. Okay. These are based on the output of booleans. So, for example, we have to use tables for that. Here, for AND table, first we will see this AND. True, true, false, false, true, false, true, false. These are the four combinations that can be obtained. True and true, true and false, false and true, false and false. The first is true, second is true, first is true, second is false, first is false, second is true, and both are false. These can be the four logical occurrences that can be obtained. Now, let me change this. I am adding it as this is AND, this is OR. For NOT, it is a separate table. I will explain that. See here, in AND table, the main condition is both have to be true. Then only it is true. True and true, it is true. Even if it is a single one is false, that means it is false. Other than both is true, for the AND, everything will be false. For OR operator, we just need at least one true. So here we have one true. So here it is true and true. So a single true is presented, so I am choosing true. And true and false, a single true is presented, so true. False and true, a single true is presented, so it is true. Here both are false, so it is false. So let me explain again. For an AND table, A, B, and logical AND and logical OR, there can be four possibilities: true, true, false, false, true, false, and true, false. If both conditions are true, then the AND table will be true. All else will become false. In OR table, if both are false, then only it is false. If single one is true, then it is true. Understood? We will move on to the NOT. In NOT, we have only two conditions. One is true, one is false. True, if you use NOT, the true will become false. If you use NOT in false, the false will become true. Just like the transpose. True to false and false to true. Here it is true, so if I use NOT operator, it will become false. Here it is false, if I use NOT operator, it will become true. So this is the logical NOT operator. So we will see in the Visual Studio Code. So here I will remove these things. So I will check true and true. This is the logical double ampersand symbol. So if I run it, see here I am getting true. So true and true is true. If I give false here, I will get false. If I give false here and true here, now also I will get false. Because both conditions have to be false. Both conditions have to be true, then only it is true, or else it will become false. If I use both or false. Then also it will become false. For the AND operator, we have to give both as true, then only it will become true. So let's see the logical OR operator. So true or I'm getting true. Okay, then if I give one of them as false, it will give true, because at least one of them have to be true, then it will give true. So after that I'm changing this false into true and this true into false, then I'll get again true. See, if I give both as false, then only it will give false. See, false. So we will see about not operators. If I give not true, it will give false. See, I got false. If I give not false, I'll get true, because true is not false. The false will become true. So we will move on to the next operators. Bitwise operators. Bitwise operators. In this bitwise operators, we will calculate with binaries. For that, if I take 10, the binary value of 10 is 1010. So let me explain how. For that, we have to divide it with 2. 2 into 5 is 10. The remainder is 0. 2, 2 is 4. The remainder is 1. 2, 1 is 2. The remainder is 0. See, 1010. We got the binary value. So the value of 10 is 1010. So we'll check for 20 then. Or else we'll see for 5, because 10 and 5 is similar. Just a simple alteration. Okay. You'll see, if I take for 5, 2. 2 times of 2 is 4. Then the remainder will be 1. After that, 1 time of 2 is 2. The remainder is 0. We got numbers 101. We have to get 4 digits, so I am adding 0. We have to add 0 again in the before. We can't add zeros in the end. We can add n number of zeros before the values. So basically we will use 4 digits. So that's why I am using a single digit before it. So we will use 0101. We will see how to convert it into normal numbers. 1 0 1 0. Here 2 power 0, 2 power 1, 2 power 2, 2 power 3. Here 0 times 2 power 0 plus 1 times 2 power 1 plus 0 times 2 power 2 plus 1 times 2 power 3. So let me explain here. 1010, it will become 0, it will become 1, 2 power 0 is 1, 2 power 1 is 2, 2 power 2 is 4, 2 power 3 is 8. So if I see any one, I have to just add the number before it, above it. So 8 plus 2, I'll get 10. So for 5, 0, 1, 0, 1. So 8, 4, 2, 1. See, 4 plus 1. 4 plus 1, 5. Because the numbers below it are having 1. If you get 0, just ignore that number. So I am getting 4 and 5. So we will see the bitwise operators. First, what are the bitwise operators are there? First one, and a single ampersand. Next one, or. Bitwise or. After that, XOR. As I teach before, you know the and or. If both is true, that is true. If both is false, that is false. For the XOR, that's a different story. If you get two alternating values like false and true or false, you'll get true, or else everything will be false. If you get the toggling alternative values, you'll get the output as true. So we'll see based on the numbers. If we do operation based on 10 and 5. So first we have to convert it both into binary. So for 10, 1 0 1 0. For 5, 0 1 0 1. See, if I use AND operator, as I said before, if both are true, then only true. See, 0 and 1. Let's take it as 0 as false, 1 as true. So we'll know a better way. As I said before, both true means it is true or else it is false. So see here, true one false, true one false, true one false, true one false. So you just put 0 0 0 0. This is nothing but the value of 0. Then for the same example, I am using OR operator here. 1 0 1 0 0 1 and 0 1. Here, if any one of them is true, it will become true. So if I get any ones, I'll just put 1. I got 1, so I am putting 1. I got another one, I am putting another one. I got 1 and another one. If I get both 0, I'll put 0. So first we will calculate the value. As I said before, 841, 8421. Just add all of them, 10, 15. You'll get 15. If you use 10 or 5, you'll get the value as 15. If you use 10 and 5, you'll get the value as 0. So we will check on 10 XOR 5. So we'll see what we will get. 1 0 1 0 0 1 0 1. Here, as I said before, if the value toggles, that means both are different, then we'll put 1. I use here, if I see here, I'll put 1. If I see here, I'll put 1. If I see here, I'll put 1. Now this also 15. Now you may ask, for R also you will get 15. For XR also you will get 15. There is no difference. Yes, there is difference. If we'll see the difference, for the R operator, I'm getting 5 and 10, so it is similar. For example, I take another number and I'm getting this value, just for example. And if I get these values, now if we check, first I use OR operator. For OR operator, I'll get ones for everything. But for XOR operator, the story is different because first I'll remove this. Now see, as I said before, the values have to be toggle. If both are also 1, it will return 0. So here also 0. 1, 0, 1, 1. So we get 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0. So then we will see in the Visual Studio Code. So first I'm taking a variable. We'll take the same example. A equals 10, B equals 5. So A and B, A or B, A XOR B. Okay, we will see the outputs of this. See, as I said before, if you use AND operator, what they are given is 0. AND operator, we are getting 0. For the OR operator, we are getting 15. For the XOR operator, also we are getting 15. So we will take another numbers. I'm taking 5 and 2. Now I got 0, 7 and 7. Now I am taking both the same numbers. Now we will check, because you may confuse because OR operator and XOR are giving the same values and the AND value giving 0. Now see, the AND is 5, then the OR is also 5, but the XOR is 0. Because if both numbers are same, the XOR will return 0, because the values have to be toggled to get the value. If the both values are same, then it will return 0. That's why we are getting 0. So I'm checking for 10 and 20. Now we will check 0, 30, 30. Okay, this is bitwise operator. Now then we will see about the precedence. Now we will see about increment and decrement operators. Let me go down there. What is increment decrement operator? First, the decrement and increment operators nothing but plus plus is increment, minus minus is decrement. You can't do star star or forward slash or modulus modulus. These three will throw error. We'll see what is plus plus and minus minus. First, I declare a variable a equals 10. Now see here, if I give a plus plus, this can be expressed into a equals a plus 1. This can be expressed into a equals, the current value is 10 plus 1, then it is la. So what we are doing is, if you give a plus plus, the current value will be incremented with 1. If I give 10 and a plus plus, it will become 11. If I give 11 and increment with 1, it will become 12. If I give 12, then increment, it will become 13. Same goes for decrement. If I use a minus minus, that 13 will become 12. Then again, if I use the 12, it will become 11. Then again, the 11 will become 10. So it will go like that. So we'll check that now. A plus plus A minus minus. Now if I check, see here, now we are getting 10 and 11. Why? You can ask, why is this same 10? And if I try to remove one, it will become 11. I will tell. But before that, I'll remove this and this. Between this, first I print the current value of A. Then I increment. Then I'm printing the current A after incrementing. After that, I'm decrementing. First, I'm printing the current value of A as 10, then incrementing, then I printing the incrementing value and decrementing, and print the decrement value. Now, if I check, first the value of A is 10 and increment with 1 and it will become 11. After that, it will become 20. So I am changing this because it may confuse. So I change it to B. So we will see a clear output. See, the current value of A is 10, it incremented to 11. The current value of B is 20, then it is decremented to 19. So before that, if I try to print A plus plus here, it shows the same value. Why? Now let me get into the topic. There are two types: post updation and pre-updation. What is this post updation and pre-updation? Post and pre-updations. We will see that if I try to print, I'm just printing, writing print, it is sysout, system.out.println. Here, first I'm declaring A equals 10. Then if I put A plus plus, it is nothing but first it will print. After that, within the memory it will update. Okay, you may confuse, I'll explain. First, I am printing the incremented value. See, first I am printing with incrementation, then printing the normal A. If I print it, it will become 10 and 11. It have to be 11 and 11, right? If you want to increment before any operations, I have to use pre-incrementation. That is nothing but plus plus A instead of A plus plus. If I do it now, the value will become 11 and 11. This is where we are using pre-increment and post-increment. For pre-increment, we will use plus plus A. For post-increment, we will use A plus plus. For pre-decrement, it is minus minus A. And post-decrement, it is A minus minus. It is for pre-increment, pre-decrement, post-increment, post-decrement. See in this, if I try to print A plus plus, first it will print the current value of A, that is 10. Then it will update the value 10 to 11. Okay. If I use print plus plus A, first it will update to 11. Then it will print the 11. Same goes for decrement. First it will minus 1 and it will become 9. It will print the 9. If I use A minus minus, it will print the 10. After that it will update to 9. This is called pre-updations and post-updations. We will be using that later on in problems. So we will move on to the precedence. So what is the precedence? Precedence is nothing but the hierarchy of how the operators can be accessed. For example, Operator precedence determine the order in which the parts of an expression can be evaluated. Okay, I'll write a expression. Okay, if I write a expression as 5 plus 3 into 2, so guess the output. Pause the video and guess the output, and let me know in the comments. Okay, what you will think is, first there are two ways. If I first add and multiply the value, 8 first, if I first add, it will become 8, then 8 into 2 will become 16. If I first multiply this, 3 star 2 will become 6, then 6 plus 5 will become 11. So this is where the precedence will come, because it can be 16 or 11. So we have to know that how it is done. So there is a way called PEMDAS, or something called board mass also. But we will go on to PEMDAS. Both are same. We will choose it as brackets. I think we'll choose it as brackets and division, multiplication, of addition and subtraction. We'll move on to PEMDAS. P reference to parenthesis. Then E refers to exponential, that means power values. M refers to multiplications. D refers to divisions. A refers to additions. S refers to subtractions. So here PEMDAS in PEMDAS, parentheses have the highest precedence. After calculating the values within the parentheses, then it will move on to exponential. After done this, multiplication and division, these both have same level of precedence. Then addition and subtraction, these both also have same level of precedence. You may ask, what if 5 plus 3 minus 2? Okay, or else 5 star 3 divided by 2. You may ask, this will happen or this will happen. First, in the same level of precedence, it will go from the direction of left to right. So first 5 star 3, 15 will be done, then 15 by 2, 7 will be given. It will not return 5 into 1, 5. It will return 7 instead. Same goes for here. So it will go from left to right in the level of same precedence. Let me take an example. If I give 5 plus 3 star 2, now what will happen is, first the parenthesis will be added and it will become 8. Then 8 star 2 will become 16. If it doesn't put any parenthesis, then it will become 5 plus 3 star 2. Now it will first multiply, because see here, there is no parenthesis, no exponential. After multiplication and division, then only addition, subtraction. So first multiplication, then 3 star 2 will become 6, then 6 plus 5 will become 11. So that's why we have to use this parenthesis in case of what we need. So we'll compile it in the Visual Studio Code. So I am taking a value, or else just move on to printing statement. So we have to check 5 plus 3 star 2. If I print, it will give 11. If I use parenthesis, now it will become 16. So this is the difference while using this precedence. So we will move on to another topic, swapping of the variables. How to do swappings? Okay, that for swapping we can use some different methods. First, what is swapping? I have a value of a in 10 and the value of b as 20. I want to store this 20 into a and 10 into b. So for that, in a familiar way, we can do a equals 10, b equals 20. For example, let me take some nuts. For example, I am taking almonds, 10 grams. After that, badam, 20 grams. These two are stored in different containers. I want to store this almond in badam container and I want to store this badam in almonds container. So I am using a temporary empty container. First I will put the badam inside this temporary container, then the almond container will be empty. The temporary will contain the almonds. Now the badam will be converted to the almond box or the almond container. After that, this almond in the temporary container will swap into the badam container. Now badam in the almond container and the almond in the badam container. Now the temporary will become empty. This is a basic swapping. So we will see how it is done. First, I am printing before swapping, and after that I am printing the value of a and b. So I am getting a equals s1 dot next int, b equals s1 dot next int. I got two values. Now first I am printing a, then I am printing b. After that I am printing sysout after swapping same a and b. Okay, within this we have to do the swap. So as I said before, we will be using a temporary container. Okay, now I'll put the badam into the temporary container. I will put the almonds in the temporary container. Then this almond will The temporary will contain almonds. The almond will become empty. So I can store the badam in the almonds. Now almond container contain badams. Then the badam container will become empty. So within that badam, I'm using the stored almonds within the temporary container. Okay. So that's it. We'll check. I'm giving 10 grams of almond, 20 grams of badam. See, before swapping 10 and 20, after swapping 20 and 10. So the values are swapped. So using operators, we can swap without using any temporary variables. So let's see. Let me see how to do it. There are mainly two ways we'll be using. There are three ways, but there is a one problem in one way. So we'll be seeing the three ways, but I'll explain what is the problem in the third way. So first we'll see in here. First, what I have to do is A equals A plus B. Then B equals A minus B. Then A equals A minus B. You may ask, what are you doing? Just adding and subtracting. Let me explain here. If I give A equals 10 and B equals 20. So now the current value of A will become 30. After that, in B, the value is 20 currently. But the current value of A will become 30. So 30 minus 20 will give 10. Then the current value of A is 30 and the current value of B is 10. And 30 minus 10 will give 20. See, the values are exchanged. Set A will now A have containing the 20 and B containing the 10. Now we will check. A equals 10, B equals 20. Before swapping, A is 10, B is 20. After swapping, A is 20, B is 10. Okay, it's just simple. First we'll add, then the total value minus the current value that is stored in B will become the value of A. And the total value minus the value that is stored in A that is stored in the current B is A. So the A minus B will give the value of the previous B that we have given in the input. So first we are adding to get the total values, then subtract with one of the values. So we'll get the another value as 10. Then after that, the total value minus the one, we have got the one value. So if we subtract the total value minus the we got one value, we'll get the second value. So that's what we are doing to get the values. And there's a simple way in the XOR. Just simple as that. That is A equals A XOR B. B equals A XOR B. Again A equals A XOR B. See, we are not changing anything. Just A XOR B, A XOR B, A XOR. A equals A XOR B. B equals A XOR B. A equals A XOR B. Let me check. I have given 10 and 20. See, before swapping 10 and 20, after swapping 20 and 10. Simple, right? We can do in multiplication and division. But there will be some problems may occur. If you give 0 in the value, if you give 0 and B, it will throw error. So that's why I said it has some fault in the third method. But I'll explain. It is same as that. A equals A star B, B equals A by B, then A equals A by B. 10 and 20. Before swapping 10 and 20, after swapping 20 and 10. The problem here is if I give 10 and 0, see here, exception the thread, the arithmetic exception divided by 0 is an exception. We'll see what is these exceptions in the upcoming videos. Will be given the try and exceptions, the exception handlings. So until then, see, we can't divide any values with 0. If we do that, we'll get infinite. So we can't do that. That's why I said it is an error. It will have some fault. So we'll move on to XOR and we'll check with zeros. See, if I give 10 and 0, before 10 and 0, after 0. So if I do for the operators addition and subtraction 10 and 0, I got the same. Before swapping 10 0, after swapping 0 and 10. Okay guys, that's all for the today's video. The operators, there are some operators in there, left shift and right shift. We'll be seeing on bitwise manipulation in the forward videos. That's it for today's video. You may ask, there will be a left shift and right shift in the logical operators. In the bitwise operators, we'll be seeing that on the upcoming videos. In the bitwise operator, we'll be having a separate video for that. We'll explain that detailed. So I would really appreciate if you support me by liking and sharing this video, and be make sure to subscribe and enable the notification. So next time if I post any videos, you'll get notified. Keep coding and keep growing. Until then, bye. See you guys.